Hello everyone and welcome to the Love Talk Show, where we confront myths and misinformation when it comes to relationships.
Where couples and singles learn to love intelligently.
And today it's a special edition of the Love Talk Show because we are in South Wales.
Yes.
More precisely in a town called Neath, Port Talbot. The castle you see behind us is the lovely castle called Margam Castle.
In the Margam Country Park.
You got that right.
You saw that I said it really slowly?
Yes. But before we continue, let's learn a little bit more about the place where we are.
Known as the land of castles, Wales seems to have come straight out of a fairy tale. With a history full of legends about young lovers, its dramatic scenery and breathtaking landscapes, it certainly makes this country one of the most romantic destinations in the UK. And that's why Love Talk is here. But what is the reality of Wales when it comes to love and relationships? Well, according to the Office of National Statistics, the percentage of people aged 16 and over in England and Wales who are married has fallen to its lowest level since 2002. In 2015, 50.6% of the population was married, compared with 54.8% in 2002. This can be explained by a rise in the number of people who are living together without getting married, and this has become more common as an alternative to marriage. In fact, the single, never civil partnered or married has grown from 29.6% to 34.5% during this period. However, having said that, the most recent statistics from 2015 also reveals that marriage is becoming more stable as the number of divorced couples had decreased. This was a fall of 9.1% from the year before and down 34% from a peak in 2003. Today, we have come to Margam Country Park, a country park estate situated in Wales. And hidden in this 1,000 acres of breathtaking countryside is Margam Castle. According to its website, this 19th century Tudor Gothic mansion was designed by the architect Thomas Hopper for Christopher Rice Mansell Talbot. The house was built in 1830 to 1840 at a cost of £50,000 using sandstone from nearby Pyle Quarry. Listed Grade 1 as a mansion of exceptional quality, the castle has some spectacular features, such as the vast stair hall and octagonal tower. Plus, there is a castle train station in the grounds, the monastic ruins dating back to 1147, and the 18th century orangery completed in 1790, the longest orangery in Britain. These are just some of their numerous attractions. To find out more, check out our website, lovetalkshow.tv, where we'll also be posting our photos of this stunning place very soon. Back to you, Luke and Ratha.
As you can see, this is a beautiful place. It seems to be out of a fairy tale. But
All about knights and princess and
yes,
things
very
like that.
medieval.
Yeah.
But is it like that when it comes to relationships?
That's right, because that's the kind of thing we see on movies, on TV, which is very nice. However, when it comes to reality, to our reality, to the reality of relationships, is it applicable? Does that work? So we're gonna find out today, because the guest we're going to be interviewing will help us shed a light on today's topic, which is, how do I know I have found the one? Is the one as the one we see, we find, we watch, pardon me, on a movie, right?
Do you
we read
instantly
about
know?
it on a book. So how do I know it's the one?
Yeah.
Right? This couple we will be interviewing have had some sort of experience on this matter, and their input will be very, very, very nice, very powerful.
Yeah, because when you found the one, do you instantly know? You know, it's an immediate thing, okay? You saw something on the person and, okay, this person is the one. This is what we are going to be exploring in today's special show.
Yes, that's right. But before that, it's time for Dear Love Talk. And we are here in the grounds of Margam Country Park. This little train apparently takes you all around the park so you can get to know the park a bit more. Unfortunately, we can't write
do
it
that today.
Yeah. But anyway, we're here to answer the questions that you've sent us via questions@lovetalkshow.tv. That's right, questions@lovetalkshow.tv. Keep sending your questions so we can answer them here on this segment. Okay? So let's go into the first question right now. What is the difference between holding a grudge and not trusting someone? It's a huge difference, obviously. Because when you hold a grudge, that has nothing to do with trust anymore. You literally don't like that person, you dislike that person, you are holding those feelings against that person, on a long-term, period, if we can put that way. I mean, there's no sight of forgiveness, of letting go or anything. So it's something that you went through, you got hurt, and now you're holding that against that person. However, keeping a grudge or having a grudge hurts more the person who than the person
who hurt you.
So that has nothing to do with trust, right?
Yeah, and I think I understand why the person is asking this. For example, you have a friend and that friend betrayed your trust, did something that a friend should not do. Holding a grudge is you don't want to talk to that person, you don't want to see that person. Every time that you see her, it comes to your mind, and you don't want anything to do with that person usually. That's holding a grudge. But not trusting is different because you need to be wise about it. You're not going to trust just because you forgave.
Yeah, you still perhaps, because usually when you have a grudge against someone, you don't even talk to that person.
Yeah.
You don't deal with that person
You don't want to
anymore.
see the person.
Yeah. So, but if you don't trust a person anymore, fair enough. I mean, you might not trust that person with certain responsibilities. You might not trust that person to share certain feelings or thoughts, right? You mentioned friendship, but I think it gets even worse when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
Right? For example, you may not want to keep a relationship with someone because that person hurt you. And the fact that you're about to break up with that person is because, of all the things he or she did to you. Fair enough. You're going to say, listen, I'm sorry, I can't trust anymore. Go your way or go my way. Okay, you can't trust, but that doesn't mean you're going to walk away from that relationship carrying a grudge with you. Otherwise, what's the point? Because that person, you go about his life, her life, and you go about yours. You will not see each other anymore. That person most likely, live his life, her life, not even remember, not even bother about what happened in the past. And there you are, full of grudges, hatred, resentment, getting sick. Emotionally, your soul is getting sick as the days go by.
Yeah. So it's perfectly acceptable. I think it can happen that even though you don't hate somebody, you have forgiven whatever they did, that you can't trust. It happens that, the trust that was broken, maybe you could give a second chance for the person to earn that trust back. But it happens that, I can't trust you, sorry. I will not hold anything against you. It's the past, let's leave it that. But maybe we don't have a future because of that, because you can't have a relationship with someone you don't trust.
But that doesn't mean you're going to keep that feeling inside of you, that resentment inside of you. Let go of the resentment, let go of the feelings, forgive, move on. Okay, if you don't want to keep that relationship, if you don't want to keep that friendship, fine, because you no longer trust that person. But keeping the grudge is something else. Having that grudge inside of you will not help you at all. Hello, our YouTube viewers. We are the presenters of the Love Talk Show.
I am Rafa.
And you know who I am, Luke. And we are here to encourage you to share this channel with your friends, your family members. Invite them to watch our shows, because our desire is to help couples and singles do better in their relationships or future relationships. So subscribe to this channel, share on your Facebook page, share the link with everyone you know so that they can learn intelligent love.
Also, leave us your comments and your questions.
Welcome back to the Love Talk Show, and today it's a special show because the Love Talk Show goes to Wales.
Indeed.
Right? And we have a question that we are answering today, which is a very common question. How do I know I have found the one? Which is a question that goes through many people's minds, especially after experiencing or having some experiences in past relationships, you know, going through certain relationships which didn't work. They start wondering if the next person is indeed the one, or she is the one, or he is the one that they will spend the rest of their lives together.
It's one of the most asked questions from singles. How do I know? How do I know when I found the one that I will spend the rest of my life with? What are the signs? What do I have to look out for?
Some people have experienced, you know, or they have had experiences with their own families, for example. They've witnessed few couples within the family getting divorced or not being able to keep the relationship for a long time. And they start wondering, what about me? Will I find the right person?
And when I do,
yes,
how do I know?
How do I know? Exactly. And to help us answer that question, we have this lovely couple with us today. They are locals here, John and Danielle. How are you?
Doing great.
They are currently residing in Cardiff, right? And they've joined us to share a little bit of their story with us, right?
Yes.
So, and then the question to both of you: how did you know this person that is sitting next to you was the one?
Well, now we found each other. Now we found the one, but it wasn't like that before, because both of us, we came from past relationships that didn't work. I would say mainly because of the role model that we didn't have. So as we didn't have that role model, that example for us, so we didn't have the expectation on being successful in our marriage, in our love life. And I got into a relationship that it didn't work because we had different goals. She wanted something, I wanted something else. We liked each other, but it seems that it wasn't enough to cover the gaps. So I had my mistakes, she had her mistakes, but we were not willing to go on with that.
How long did that relationship last?
It was close to 2 years. So we were engaged.
Okay.
We're planning to get married and everything. But it got to the point that, no, that it won't work.
John, you mentioned about role models. Are you referring to family, for instance?
Yes, my own house, I didn't have that role model of a happy family. Not even a perfect, but at least a happy family, something working. So I never had that. So I didn't have like a role model, as you said. Okay, that's what I want for my life. That's what I want. And then is when I started to attend the seminars of the Love Talk. And then I started learning about the intelligent love. And then I found out that didn't need to be my future. It could be different. I could be happy.
You want to
Because
ask something?
you say you didn't have role models, and this is the reality of many people. They look around and they find people who are together, but they don't seem to be happy, and people think just the lucky ones. You know, I can try, but just the lucky ones. When you find the right person, they say, is because you're lucky. And because you don't see it around you, I think it becomes harder for you to believe you can actually find someone that you can be happy. And I believe that was your case. When you started that 2-year relationship, you said it came to a point where you noticed it's not gonna work. Is it something that you saw from the beginning?
Yeah, there were signs, but we can't just sugarcoat. No, it's okay, we can solve it later on. But things were just getting worse because I didn't know how to solve it, she didn't know it, so...
So by them, you were not aware of the intelligent love,
Exactly.
could say, right?
Exactly.
So you ignored some of the signs in the beginning.
Yeah, thinking that's how it is. So in the future, I'm gonna learn how to cope with it. But I didn't know how. Now I would say that I even know how to cope with that. But on that point of my life, I didn't know at all.
So when it came to the point of you guys splitting up, okay, it didn't work. 2 years together, you were already engaged, plus not having those role models within your family that you could follow. Did you start wondering ever if you were going to find the one, or how is going to be my future as far as love life is concerned? I don't know, were there questions or feelings?
I wouldn't say that, because wasn't the time that I learned that I had to focus first on myself.
Okay.
So I wasn't the right person. So I couldn't give to her what she needed. I didn't understand that. But as soon as we split, and then I started learning about the intelligent love, and then I found out, okay, so let me focus on myself first. Before engaging into any new relationship, let me solve my own problems. And then there was a process, I think a year until I met Danielle.
And I think it was very courageous of you, because usually people, when they get engaged, so they're going to get married, some people just go through with it for the shame of, I'm engaged. So let's just work this out after we get married. Yeah.
Worrying about people's opinions, what will my family think, what will friends think. No, let's go through with it, see what happens. Like you said, maybe we can make things work. But the good part of it is that you came to realize that even yourself, right? Yes. You were not ready for that.
Yes.
And that takes humbleness for one to accept that and say, no, I have to work on myself, which is exactly what we teach people when they come to us to talk to us. We always emphasize the importance of working on yourself, because many people are concerned about finding someone. They're concerned about having a relationship, but not so often they think about themselves. They don't question themselves, and sometimes they think they're ready. And if there is someone who's not ready, it's the other person, not themselves.
And even they see that there is something wrong with them. Maybe they are too needy. Maybe they have suffered bad experiences in the past, and they think, I need a relationship to fix that.
Yeah, they think that the other person will fix that for them.
Yeah.
And that's not how it works. If I want to fix myself by having you next to me, it's going to be a problem. I
think what happens is...
thinking that you can help me change, become a better man, because I became a better man once I married you. She's going to brag about it for days now. But there were things that I had to work in myself on my own, right?
A relationship makes something good better, but it can't fix something that is broken.
Exactly.
So.
And you, Danielle, how did that work for you?
Yes, I had another relationship as well. And for me at the beginning, the first thing that today I see that I was wrong, because I was too young.
How old were you?
I was 15 at the time.
Okay.
And because all my friends were dating, and I wanted to be the first guy, like he must be my fiancé and my future husband. But as he said, I saw the signs, because he was so, how can I say that? He didn't want me, like, for example, to study, to do the things. He was controlling. Very controlling, yeah. So sometimes when I would go out, he was all the time texting me, where are you? Who are with you? So very controlling. And all the time, like, for example, I'd like to do this course, I want to do this. No, you don't want, we're gonna marry, and you don't need to do this. So he was very controlling, and I didn't have my life anymore, like I was living to him. And another thing that was very hard for me, it was like a yo-yo relationship.
Okay.
So we broke up and come back again. No, I'm sorry. And I was so, oh no, it must be him. I need to give another chance. So
because I need to marry my first boyfriend.
Yes,
my first
boyfriend.
Yeah. How long did the relationship last?
1 year and a half.
1 year and a half.
When you broke up, who broke?
Was me.
Because
I started to learn the intelligent love.
But the first few times, was it you also, when you said you kept going back and forth?
Sometimes was me, sometimes was him, but all the time was like this, the yo-yo relationship. So I was tired, and I started to learn, no, the person that is gonna be by your side is to help you to grow, to give strength for you to keep going with your life. Encourage you.
He needs to encourage you, right? To move, not control you.
Yes.
Because there was nothing wrong in you wanting to, further your knowledge, studying, and doing the things you wanted to do. But apparently, he wanted you for himself.
Yes.
That's what you understand. Is that correct?
Yes.
He wanted you for himself.
Just for him.
Was there an age difference between the two of you? Or you were around the same age?
Year.
Just
Oh,
1
he
year.
was young too.
Yeah, he was young.
And some people here, he is a clear sign. Some people think, it's all right. It's all right, it's because he loves me. Some people go that far and say, it's because he loves me too much. And it's all right, we are young, we are going to grow out of it. When in fact, this is showing you that there was probably something wrong with you and something wrong with him. And you two together, mess.
And emotions, when you are led by emotions tend to blind you, right?
Yeah.
Emotions tend to blind you. And once you're blinded, you're no longer thinking. You're just feeling.
Because
right?
I had a lot of people saying to me, Daniel, look, there is nothing right. There is nothing right with this relationship. It will not work. But no, but I love him. I want to be with him.
So people were already noticing that he wasn't the one, but you were insisting that
I was
he
insisting
could be
because must be he is the right person for me.
Why?
Did that happen to you? Did people notice that?
Yeah, the same.
Interesting,
But I would say that the problem in the past relationship that I had was me. Because I was young, but very proud, so proud. It had to be my way. I think I was.
If you had met back then,
yeah,
probably
it would be the
not
same
work.
thing.
So you see how interesting. It's because you were different when, well, we're going to get to that later. I don't want to get to that yet. But one thing that I wanted to ask the both of you, when you have hopes for a relationship, when it's a serious relationship, which was the case of the both of you, it's very heartbreaking when it doesn't work. So how did you manage to come out of that heartbreak?
For me, at the beginning, I was like, I don't want to be in any relationship for now. I want to take care of my life. I want to keep with my life. So at the beginning, it was hard because, bro, all my dreams.
It's never going to happen, the first boyfriend.
Yeah. So for me, all my dreams is over. So at the beginning, it was hard. But I started to attend the seminars and I started to learn about the love, the intelligent love. And I started to work in myself, to prepare myself to be in another relationship because I was not ready. I was very, very young. And I started to work in myself first to be with him today in another relationship.
And I learned I was too anxious. It had to be now. So I realized, come on, I'm 18. So what's the hurry about it? So let me focus on myself. Let me build up as a man.
And that's something we're going to talk about in our next segment because this is something I want to explore. Okay, so we're going to go for a quick break right now and stay with us because we're going to conclude their story in the next segment. There's something very peculiar that I want to explore in their story. Okay, don't go away. Stay with us.
Do you know what intelligent love is? But you can find out on our site. It's lovetalkshow.tv. Many people, they struggle in love, in their relationships. They keep losing their hearts, their feelings, and everything always goes to waste. So if you want to learn to love intelligently, that's the place you should visit. lovetalkshow.tv. We also have our Facebook page, our Instagram page, Love Talk Show. So visit us.
I just agree with everything she said. Welcome back to the Love Talk Show, and we are here in South Wales, more precisely in a very medieval castle from the 1800s, called Margam Castle. And before the break, we were talking to John and Danielle about their past, past relationships, past experiences. And one thing I would like to ask you, Danielle, is the same thing I asked John. When you broke up with that boyfriend that you had at the time, and not seeing, apparently you're telling us off record, that you two did not have good role models in your family. Did you wonder whether the next relationship was going to be the right one, if it was going to work, if the next boyfriend was going to be then the one that you're going to get married with and spend the rest of your life with? Were there thoughts there, questions in your mind?
As he said, I didn't have a good role model in my family as well. But when I broke up, as I said, I started to learn about the intelligent love. So
around the same time?
Around the same time. So I didn't...
You didn't know each other before then, right?
No.
No, even though...
No, we can't say it's coincidence or fate or anything, but...
No. but we used to attend the same seminar at the same place, but because we were so focused on ourselves, so we were not there to find someone.
Okay, so actually at the same place, but you
Yeah.
didn't know each other.
Yeah, we didn't know each other.
When you say lack of role models within the family, what did you experience? What did you see? Divorce, separation, fights?
Betrayal,
Fights, addiction. Addiction. So, and I grow up with this desire inside of me. I don't want this for my love life. So when I saw my first relationship end like that, I said, no, I don't want this. So it's better for me to take care of myself, of my future relationship, because I don't want to commit the same mistakes.
Good. So then you eventually started working on yourselves, right? And then you met.
So,
Yeah.
one question. John said he was very proud and anxious. How about you, Danielle? What did you find out about yourself that was wrong? Or missing?
I think I was too emotional
Okay.
to live in the dreams, the fairy tale.
Two very typical examples.
Yes.
Men who are proud and women who are very emotional, right? Like you said, he's going to be the Prince Charming. I'm going to marry my first boyfriend. He's going to come ride on a white horse and
Like that. She probably dreamed of castles and stuff.
yeah, the place here
you
suits
got
them
to come
very well. And then you eventually met,
Yeah.
right?
So I started working in the US, and then I went back to Brazil. So when I came back to Brazil, I had in my mind, okay, now is the time. So it wasn't like emotions anymore. It was, okay, I fixed those mistakes. I'm not perfect, and understood I will never be perfect, but I can add to someone. It's not the point of the person adding to me. I understood I can make someone happy. So that's what I learned about relationship now. It's not about her making me happy, but if I make her happy, of course she'll make me happy. And then I start looking for it and trying to win her again. And a friend of mine introduced me her best friend. And that was kind of very awkward, actually, because I went to speak with her best friend with her next to her. And then I came and came from the US.
Did you notice her at all?
No.
But I noticed him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You see, so here we destroyed the thing of first love at first sight because she was right there and you didn't even notice it.
Defeat the idea.
Yeah.
But one thing that I learned as well about intelligent love is not the outside first. It matters, of course, but I had that in my mind already. Okay, the outside is not everything. So I met her best friend. I just asked her number, her email, something like this. And then I start researching about her life, just to get her background. And what I've heard wasn't that positive. It was nothing that dark or anything, just it didn't please me. And then I sent an email to her, okay, that's not what I want. And then...
Okay, let me stop
yeah.
right there, which is very important. You saw a sign.
Yeah.
This time your mind was working on a different mode. And you didn't ignore that sign. You said it wasn't something major, but you saw something there that could be a potential problem in the future. And you nip it in the bud, okay? Move on with your life, move on with life. Which was completely different from what you did in the previous relationship.
Yeah.
Here is the key to intelligent love. So you observe the signs. You're no longer anxious as before, because if you were, you'd have ignored those signs and told yourself, you'd have told yourself, this is it, I need another girlfriend. But this time, you were using a bit more of your reason rather than your emotions, right? So once you ended with her, how did you turn your attention to her, to Danielle then?
Yeah, so it wasn't like a relationship. So I just asked her number, and then I got it. It was like one day, then that's it. And then the same person introduced me to a friend of hers. Okay, but there is the other friend.
What such a nice friend. This is a very nice
Really,
friend.
helping you find
This one
a
didn't work here, someone else.
Perfect Cupid. Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that would be hard, because I noticed her there. I knew that she was there, but I didn't look with those intentions. And then after a week, it was very hard to get her number. And then I called her, said, hi, I want to meet you. And then she said, but wait, you're not the guy that just spoke with my best friends. I said, yeah, but it's not the way you're thinking. And I said, okay, so I'll find out what is happening. Then I speak with her, and then she hung up the phone on me. And then for me, it wasn't something bad. It was something positive, because it's not that she was rude. It was just straight to the point with me. So I realized, wow, she is not emotional.
Yes.
And only that, we men know very well that when a woman makes it very hard for us, it really hooks us up.
Exactly.
Right? So when they're too easy, you kind of, whatever.
It's kind of like this, maybe it could be any other guy, and she would just, say yes.
Yeah.
But the fact that she did is like, okay.
So now I need to work harder,
Yeah.
right, to conquer her.
Yeah, so now it's a challenge. And, you can say a side of the story now.
Yes, so when he called me, in my mind, what is happening? Why he's calling me? Because he just spoke with my friend. And
So he's just like fishing for
yes.
girls.
And then, no, I don't want, okay, I'm gonna see, I'm gonna find out what is happening, and I will think if I'm gonna speak with you later on. Because I learned, so I didn't want to suffer again. So I was protecting myself first.
What was your first impression when he was there talking to your best friend?
I was like, okay, he's not the one for me. Yeah, because when I saw him, I liked him, but he was speaking with my friend, okay.
So automatically it's like, that's
okay.
We are definitely defeating the idea of love at first sight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Going by what you see,
Yeah.
by what you feel.
And when he called me, okay, I found out, and the person who spoke about me to him explained all the situation, and I start to think, okay, so let me give him.
So
give him a chance.
you two did your research about each other.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right, so it was a completely different approach from previous relationships.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Because we were not willing to engage into a relationship that wouldn't work. So we didn't want to waste her time and my time. And so I spoke with her, and I was about to go back to the US. So I didn't have much time as well, so I need to make more research. So I spoke with her, and then she got back with me, so she accepted the idea.
Accepted you.
Yeah. And then we spoke with each other to get to know each other better. And then on to the following day, I spoke with her mom. Then her mom said, wow, she's my best friend. She helps me so much. She's wonderful.
Good reviews.
Yeah. Then people who met her, no, she's golden. She's wonderful. Say, my God, what's the thing with this girl?
She's a keeper.
Yeah. And then we start getting to know each other, and I really worked hard to find a mistake in her. Of course, she wasn't perfect, but like something that would be a sign, and I didn't find. And
I believe that one thing that we made in the beginning, in our first conversation, we spoke about everything, about the other's relationship, what was wrong, what was our mistakes. So we were very clear with each other. So in the first conversation I said, oh, look, I don't want to commit a mistake. I had this relationship and this happened, and I want this and that. So, and he said as well about his relationship. So I believe because we were very clear with one another, help us to...
It started off good.
We see a big difference here. I mean, we can see clearly the difference between emotional love and intelligent love. Loving with because this is something so controversial. It's a challenge for some people to understand this, because what we learn out there is, follow your heart.
Yeah.
Listen to your heart. There are even songs.
Yeah.
We encourage you to do that. And we confront those myths. We confront those myths. And here's a clear example that how that works. How long you've been married now?
1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
So they're newlyweds, basically.
Yeah.
But it's completely different now. You see the way you approach each other, being very transparent, not giving in to your emotions. Let's talk. Let's see where you come from, who you are,
What you want.
and etc. See if we are compatible, and so on and so forth.
And I think one great thing that you did that people don't do is before starting a relationship, let's find out. Let's find out more about this person. Of course, you're only going to say good things about you. So you have to ask people who would say otherwise.
Exactly. That's what we encourage singles to do. Usually people do the opposite. They go into a relationship.
Let's see where it
kiss,
goes.
They hug, they even sleep together. Then later on they find out the other person's last name.
Yeah.
Because not even the whole name they know exactly. So that's how people should go about relationships.
I think that's how you started getting it right. That you didn't rush into it. Let's find out.
Yeah. So we're going to go for a short break once again. After the break, I want to ask you, how's the relationship today? Even though it's only a year, but you've been together for more than that, apparently, right? You dated for how long?
4 years.
4 years.
And we are going to review why you waited so long.
So after the break, stay with us. Hello everyone, we are here to invite you to our Love Talk seminars every Thursday at 8 p.m. on the address that you can see here at the bottom of your screen. You can also find more details on our website, lovetalkshow.tv. You find events throughout the year. They are all free, where you're going to learn a lot about relationships. Singles and couples are invited. Our desire is to share with you a little bit of what we've been through, and also, help you with prayers, with advice, with counseling, down-to-earth teachings in which will help you become a better man, a better woman, a better husband, a better wife, and see, better results of your investment when it comes to relationships. Okay, every Thursday, 8 p.m., Love Talk Live on this address here that you see at the bottom of your screen. Welcome back to the Love Talk Show Goes to Wales. And John and Danielle, I would like to know now, how's the relationship today? I mean, first of all, just reminding our viewers, you've been married for 1 year now, but you've been together for 5 years.
5 years.
Right?
Yes.
You dated for 4 years.
4 years.
Why that much time? Why did you choose to date for 4 years before getting married?
Well, it was necessary because still we were very young, but it was mainly because of my work, because I was in our home country, Brazil, and then I traveled not to the US, I traveled to the UK. So I started working here, so we were dating at a distance.
Okay.
And I wouldn't advise anyone to do that because we were strong and we were certain. We had no doubts. So I knew that she was the right person. So we made sure that I knew her background, her family, who she was, and everything. So I was certain, I had no doubts about it. So even though we were distant, she was in South America, was here in the UK, so we were not jealous. We never had a problem like, is she meeting another guy?
Okay, that's a question I want to... Your previous boyfriend was very controlling.
Yeah.
Imagine if John was like him.
You would never work.
Never work.
No. Yeah,
So the long distance relationship was a necessity. It wasn't because you wanted.
Yeah.
It was just for that time.
yeah, it wasn't our choice.
How long did you date long distance?
3 years and a half.
Okay. So most of it was long
Yeah,
distance.
just the 5 months that he was in Brazil.
Yeah, so we were really certain of it, and so it was a Skype relationship, and it wasn't easy. It was, I wouldn't say that it was easy, a bed of roses, but I was still focusing on myself. I still was building up to become the right man, the right husband to her. So when we got together after 3 years and a half, so we were more mature.
We were so different
Yeah, true.
from the beginning. Our mind,
I
everything.
met her, you were 17.
Yeah.
I was 21. When we got married,
You
we
were
were.
both over 20.
Yeah.
Yes, the early 20s.
Yeah, so it was different. So we're more mature, more ready for that. Financially speaking as well, we're more stable. So to build a family and everything.
So very important points to explore
Yeah.
here, right? First of all, you worked on yourselves. Then there was that period, even though it was a bit difficult, but necessary for you to mature.
Exactly.
Financially speaking, also stable, so much so that, as you said, when you met again to then get married, I think after the 3.5 years, you seemed completely different to each other, right?
Yes.
So all important steps, no rushing, no anxiety, there was a certainty in spite of the distance, you were sure that this relationship was going to work.
And also time, because many people say they love each other and they're going to stay together, but time tests them, tests that certainty. I think one thing that is very strong about their story is that they were sure before you separated, you went your separate ways. You found out everything you possibly could, and then you just continue that throughout the 3 years and a half. That's very important.
It made more valuable. It gave more value to our relationship. So while we waited 4 years, so she was so important already for me. So before we getting married, she was part of me already. So it was great. So when we got married, there's always this adapting moment, but it wasn't hard, as we heard from others' stories, as in the program, because we were already so together, even though far distance physically, but emotionally, our minds were together. So when we got together, it flew. Of course, not a perfect. Still have things to. We were just newlywed. But
So now you know that you are the one for each other,
Yeah.
right?
we know.
Which is something that we're gonna, in our next segment, conclude and then dig a little bit more on that. So thank you very much for being our guest today. Your story was really inspiring.
Very nice.
Various points that we can explore, and I believe it has helped our viewers a big time. But before you go, we, as we usually do with our guests, we're gonna see the 3 most annoying things about each other. And apparently, Danielle, we've been waiting for
very
this.
excited for
You're
this
very
moment.
excited.
John has said here during the break that she's fulfilling her dream.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to the 3 most annoying things
Not me.
from each other. So
No, John.
exactly. So thank you very much once again.
You're welcome.
So let's go now and see the 3 most annoying things from John and Danielle.
When you are going out to do some shopping, he looks for the worst place to park the car, like between 2 big cars or between the column and a big car. I don't know why, so we stay there like around 5 minutes just for him to park the car. So for me, there is no reason for him to do that.
she doesn't have feet. She has 2 ice cubes. When we go to bed, it's so warm, you put the blankets, and then I'm so quiet, so calm, so ready to rest, to have a nice night of sleep, of rest, and she comes with those ice cubes in my back. My God, that's torture. And she laughs, she thinks it's funny, it's not funny. It's torturing me, it's painful, it hurts me, it's terrible.
like when there's something in his face, a hair or something dirty, I try to clean, to help him, to advise him. Okay, there's something, and I touch him. He do like he's fighting. I don't know what happens in his mind, but I have to protect myself. So I need to advise him in advance. Look, there is something in your face, because if I touch directly, he will fight. Yeah.
I arrive in the house after a long day of work. The only thing I want to shower, rest my mind, but it's not what happens. So it comes question 1, question 2, question 3. She wants to ask about my mother, she wants to ask about my work, she wants to ask about the day, she wants to ask about the fly, the bug, the food. Just one question. If she asks one question, so I'll focus on that question and answer. But it's so many. It's a compilation of questions that gets me so angry.
When I'm speaking with him, or he's in his phone or doing something, and I'm speaking, I am saying a lot of things. I am like trying to express myself, and he's like, okay. And in my mind, I know that he's not paying attention to me. So this is the 3 most annoying things in my husband.
And the third. And what would that be? That's hard. She's so nice. Oh, I found one. She always chooses to clean the house, to mop the house, the time that she knows I'll pass by it. So I have to step on it, make a mess, and then it makes me feel so bad. Because she mopped the entire thing, but she knew that I'll pass there. Then I think that's it. She's nice, she's wonderful. I love her.
Yeah, John struggled a little bit about the third annoying thing. I find that some men usually know their annoying things quicker, but John struggled a bit.
Yeah.
So it means Danielle
And
is
it
doing
seems
good.
like Danielle was ready for,
Yeah.
for the 3 most annoying things. So, one thing that I would like to stress here before we conclude today, which we learned with the couple, with their story, and which is what we are always advising people to do, which is number 1, get the facts, okay? While they were living based on emotional love, the love that is driven by the feelings, they were getting all wrong, right? However, once they learned intelligent love, their approach was completely different. So they got the facts, they researched about each other, asked questions. Danielle was a bit tougher in the beginning, which prompted John to kind of pursue and fight even harder. Another thing we learned also is that we have to know whether we are the one also for whoever will become eventually our future partner. So it's not all about are you the one? For example, in our case, is she the one? Let me see if she's the one. Not only that, I have also to ask myself, am I the one?
Yeah.
Because if I'm not the one, if I'm not the right person, then chances are that I will frustrate my future partner. My future partner, on the other hand, will also become frustrated with me, and then the relationship goes to waste. So it's not only about the other person, it's about also ourselves.
First and foremost, ourselves. One thing that John said that's very, very nice and very important to understand. He said that in that previous relationship, he was proud. He found out he was proud. He was anxious.
Yes.
If he had met Danielle then,
He wouldn't have worked.
Even though now she's the one, she wouldn't be the one then because he wasn't ready for it.
And she would be controlled by him. She was very emotional, very clingy, so, she would have to put up with that. But thankfully, they learned intelligent love, and things changed. And they apply those teachings to themselves, first work on themselves. And once it works for you, once you are doing well within yourself, once you are, you are the one who the other person expects to meet, and that person likewise achieves the same. So that's it. How can the relationship fail?
It's because people, they focus so much on finding the right person. some are lucky that they found the right person. It's much more about doing the right things than finding the right person, because you can find the right person, but if you do the wrong things, you're gonna mess up that relationship, like many have. Many people they have failed relationships, and when they look back, they think, oh, if I had done things differently, it might have worked.
So their story today proves the theory right, okay? It's all about the mind, the reason. If you have the right approach, if you approach the whole concept of love life, intelligently rather than emotionally, chances are that you hit jackpot.
Yeah.
All right. Of course, it's just a figure of speech. It's just an expression, because that's almost also considered luck. But you understand where we're coming from. So their story today really sheds a light on the whole concept of intelligent love. And that's what we want to leave with you guys today. This understanding once again. It's first about yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been through various relationships, and until today you wonder why it hasn't worked. Why is it? When will I find the right person? What is going to happen next time I find another person, another man, another woman? Or you even think that this is it. It's enough. It's over.
You can't find.
I can't find. I give up. I've tried so many times. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Which means that perhaps it's you. You need to work on yourself. Because when you are well within yourself, when you heal those wounds, when you forget your past, you fix what is wrong in the inside, like they did, then you're back to dreaming again. You're back to hoping again.
To loving again.
To loving again, because you're loving yourself first. So this is it, guys. In case you missed any segment of today's show, or you'd like to watch previous shows, you can head to our website,
lovetalkshow.tv. Take a look at this.
If you haven't done so already, check out our revamped website, lovetalkshow.tv, where you can find out everything you need to know about this show and the free Love Talk Live seminars happening every week. On there, you can also get in touch with us, watch the previous shows, browse through all the Love Talk events coming up soon, and more importantly, you can learn more on how to love intelligently.
So what was your experience like here today at Margan Castle?
It was grand. It's a beautiful place.
It's a very nice place indeed.
Very nice place for couples, very romantic.
Yeah.
I feel inspired.
Yes, and we advise even couples to visit.
Families.
Because it's a place that, takes you back in time. You learn a little bit about history. The castle was built in the 1800s, so lots of ruins. The place is so huge that we didn't even have the time to visit every single corner. But it's very nice.
You're gonna try
medieval.
Yeah, we've tried to show you.
You felt like a princess now, and I feel like a knight.
Yeah, we're just missing the white horse. We tried to show you a little bit about it, but it doesn't do justice, because it's a really beautiful place.
So we advise you guys to come to this place. It's located in a town called Neath Port Talbot. What's the name of it? Margan Country Park. Margan Country Park. Okay, South Wales. If you live in London, it's a trip of almost 4 hours, 4.5 hours, but it's worth the visit.
Yeah.
And also, we'd like to thank Margan Neath Port Talbot County Borough Council.
You got it.
Finally, okay?
And who knows, maybe next time we will come to a place near you.
That's right. So until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
And that's all for today's Love Talk show. Be sure to tune in next week to learn more on how to love intelligently.